Hi, I'm Mutgren and welcome to Dad's Old Shop. I'm here to do some painting on these while I have a little bit of time before the next day. These are Battletech Word of Blakes. I'm trying to get some lighting down. I'm trying to figure out where to put my arms. What do I do with my hands? Um, so these start off with mostly start off with a white primer, except for this one, because I just used whatever primer I had. The paint scheme that these are going for is black top, white bottom. Um, and also I'm going to maybe freehand a sword. We'll figure it out. I already have the top, the desired darkness it needs to be. Just going to lighten up the bottoms. I have an Ulthen Gray. We'll see how it turns out. I think I'll need to do a couple coats of that to have it come through, a couple thin coats. And if there's still time, because I'm only going to stream for about 30-ish minutes, maybe 45, I want to try to get the highlight on the legs done. Because once I highlight the legs, I can highlight the tops and protect the bottoms. I can always just put like a little paper skirt around it to make sure that I don't unintentionally get dry brush on there, because like panel lining I think is in general the better tech, but I am lazy and I don't know if these minis really count for it, because I also want to just like get these on. They have a game next week. I just want them to be kind of imposing for that one game. So just going to take our gray here. What am I going to start with? Start with the Highlander. I did before stream also just like put some black ink in some of the like recesses just to try to darken those areas up for the current painting. I just have water off screen here. I realized I need to change my camera setup. I can't do anything close here. I did get a new camera boom. So that should be in probably, let me just get this in frame. Probably in a week and a half or so, I think, if I remember correctly. So once that comes in, I'll probably end up taking down the ceiling again and just redoing my whole setup here. So I was getting a fair amount because I have a couple models to do. Watering it down. I just use my biggest brush because I'm not, well, I guess I could use this. I was going to use a smaller brush, but I realized what I was saying. I want to save time. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Oh, all right, just trying to find the position to keep my arm stable and keep the lighting on the figure. As you can tell, I'm not a career painter. Let's do a little bit, see how that looks. Okay, it's looking pretty good. Okay, I like how that's turning out. So this is just a coat that I've thinned with a fair amount of water, so you're probably going to see it get streaky when it dries. And that's fine, we'll just take it over a second time. Because we're going on a fair amount of coats to get this done. So, thinner, definitely better. Just trying to get it all along the bottom. And it's not so much of a problem if we hit the top, because the top is done with a gray. It's like a custom gray. It's basically, where do I have this gray here. And then I darkened it up with just like a little speck of black. So it's a kind of nebulous gray, dark gray. So if I do get a little bit of white up there, it's not the end of the world. I'll just tap it. It's much more of an issue if I get any black onto the bottom there, because that'll just be a pain in the butt to cover. So I'm just making sure to keep that mixed up there, because it looks like it wants to separate a little bit, which is, you know, that's paints. Paints will do that. This has been stretched a little bit because it got a little thick in the pot, so I put some acrylic paint medium in it, and, you know, I figure I can just dilute it as I need it. I don't have any paint that works straight out of the bottle anyway. You got to dilute it anyway, so why waste time diluting it in bottle, right? Just like dilute it as you use it. So I don't know too much about Word of Blake formations because I was not playing Battletech during when Jihad was released, so I'm coming at this stuff all kind of secondarily and maybe with the opinions of other people taken into account. Because of everything that's been written about all this stuff. But from what I'm able to grasp, these guys are like secret agent kill teams. They're like fanatical cyborgs. Part of Word of Blake's like security apparatus. They're ROM. You know, the Jihadi Blake side of it. Probably saying that's going to get this even less reach. Oh well, I don't care. So these are all cyborgs, and the rules in the mission pack that this is part of, like, says that they tried to, if any of them go down, they have to self-destruct, or failing that, somebody else has to take their turn self-destructing them, because they can't risk anything falling into other people's hands, which is pretty wild. That's a whole new set of rules we keep forgetting to use. Just like engine explosions. Because it is an engine. It is a nuclear engine. So, just trying to give this a good coat. Alright, probably a good start. For this one, let this dry. Alright, that's good. Get the extra stuff off here. Alright, just give me 1 second here, I'll be right back. Alright, and on to the next one. A Highlander. Classic mech. Part of the play of this Lance, because, you know, we got to build it. The play of it was to use C3 networks to rain long-distance AC-20 shots down on the opposing force. Oh, there's too much water in the brush on that. Oh well. It's okay, we're going to have to give this multiple coats anyway. So, we have thoroughly warned the other players that this is what's going to happen. You're going to get shot and not like it. So it's going to be a big old DPS race, because once we start dropping, we really start dropping. Not because we don't have a lot of mechs, like it's 6-hull mechs, and that's a good point value. But the obligation to put down mechs that are damaged really is going to take away our top potential once we start taking any damage. Any significant damage, that is. So I'm excited. This should be a fun game. This should be different than the other ones. I'm just waiting for the culmination to just get absolutely bodied by planes. We're doing the Antalos campaign, which is like playing Snow Raven, finding its place among the Outworlds Alliance and making the Raven Alliance and fighting off pirates. It's like their origin into the Jihad and stuff like that. So it's a cool adventure path so far. It is air focused, because that's like both the Snow Raven and the Outworld Alliance things, like in the lore. I'm trying to get this little thing covered without too much spray there. Okay. So I'm just waiting for the more uneven fights later on, because we haven't managed to kill any planes. Like, we've lost a fair amount of mechs, they've lost a lot of mechs, but all the really expensive, high BB, very strong planes still taunt us even after all these games and hitting them every turn and just watching them make the DC 5 or 6 flight checks. Dang shame, really. I want to see one of them go down. Well, the game's the only one because we had one mech that just or one plane, Sparrowhawk, that just stalled a plane that was much more competent for 3 rounds just by engaging it and just selling itself. And eventually, its 3 medium lasers could not keep up with the 2 Gauss rifles and 2 ERPPCs of the plane that Snow Raven player had. So it was good as long as I kept winning those kept winning those piloting checks, but I did lose them. That lost our air cover, but delayed long enough for us to clean up on the ground, so nothing to complain about. There's going to be a bunch of metallic silver stuff on here. I'm trying not to get it super painted, because metallic also just covers, I think, better. Anyway, when you have even if you have striated stuff below, as long as it's a pretty relatively dark color. So I have some gunmetals ready for the actuators and stuff on this, those big actuators. There we go. And I'm just trying to make sure everything is coated white. And then this will get a second coat. Make sure I don't have any big gaps or anything like that. I'm not good at painting, but that's fine. I don't need to be. I just need to be adequate. And also, this is my tip for other people that are not good at painting. If you're going to be painting colors like white and black, don't paint white and black. Paint grays. Paint grays, it's so much more forgiving. You have room to shade up and down. Going to that pure tone is just, it's rough. Especially if you use white primer. That seems like a good idea, and it does give a nice white, but you can't really highlight that unless you do a colored highlight, like an icy blue or a warmed white or something like that highlight. And I'm not skilled enough to do those. It just looks like I messed up. I'm just adding more paint here because I've been adding water from the brush. Probably gonna add a little bit more water. There we go. Also, the coverage on even light gray paint is just so much more even than in white paint. White paint is just a difficult paint to work with. That's just white paint. It's so hard trying to keep my arm down while I do this, just so I don't block the light. Because if I have it come up from too high, it'll look kind of weird. I might just do that anyway. I'm just trying to get in and hit the inside parts. Also, another beginner tip, if you paint how you play, right? You're not out there looking for a golden demon or something, right? So these are going to be on the table on a base at arm's length. Paint like it. You don't need to have the undercarriage be perfect. Nope, almost nobody's going to see it. You're going to be your biggest critic of it, really. Nobody's going to go, oh, it was great on the top, but terrible on the bottom. I don't like you. We're not going to play games anymore, People are just going to be happy you painted models, really. So many miniature games suffer from not using painted models because you just run out of time. I am very guilty of that. I don't hide it. And I don't mind playing against that until you get into stuff that's I guess tournament stuff, I guess I care. Because you're there, you're in an event, you want to look cool, you want to feel cool, right? And it's part of that, right? It's kind of like showing up underdressed to a fancy dress party. I'm just raising the light source a little bit. There we go, moving it in and down. Ah, I scratched my foot. I don't know why, I just was I'm going to be barefoot today. As if I, Didn't think my feet were rough enough. I'm just existing. It's like, I need to drag her across the shop floor too. Let's go. So I was thinking of actually putting up a schedule because I saw the things for it. I feel like the scheduling options for streams are just weird. Like I do a different Twitch stream for something else, and found out you can't do weekly schedules, or you can't do single one-off schedules, like monthly schedules, until you reach like partner status or whatever. And that's not something I wanted to do. So it never happened. So I was just trying to go about it, and I was like, oh, I can't do that because like it's like a once a month thing ish. So I just wanted to be like, yep, here it is, every once a month on this day, same day every time. Nope, can't do it. Thanks, Twitch. What a weird feature to lock behind the partner affiliate, whatever the lowest grade of it is. What's the base month scheduled? I don't want to lie to it, you know what I mean? Like, I guess I could do it every day and just say, not actually only on the 4th, but like, that looks silly. I guess I can be at, like, tune in on the fourth one, you know, 3rd Wednesday, 4th Wednesday, whenever it's going to be. Okay. I'm just going straight in because I don't think I have too much here. That took a lot less time than the bigger mechs. The king crab's going to take the longest of all because, you know, time for crab. Like I said, I'm just kind of getting in there and being gentle not to mess up because I can always come from a different angle. I don't need to get it done at the initial angle. You can also roll a paper towel. Like, I have a black there. We'll see how this rolls over it. Hopefully it does pretty good. It looks like it's covering okay. Also, trying to prevent the brush from flicking when it hits the end of a surface, because I can just throw paint everywhere, as evidenced by my tables that are just covered in paint. And that's just for my technique being, you know, sloppy. Oh, my back. I have to, like, sit in a certain way to make this present. And, oh, it's pulling. I should have stretched. Getting old sucks. I guess it's better than not getting old, though. You know, it's a good problem to complain about. Also might not be muscle. I had chicken for lunch, and I was like, oh, I want a spicy sauce. So I had some last dab left over. And I used that. And I think I used too much. But I was enjoying it because, you know, it's actually not too bad of a sauce. It's actually pretty good. But I think my insides are kind of angry because I probably ate too much of it. Because, like, I'm good with spicy food. I don't think I'm that good. So it might just be referred pain from, oh, your tummy hurt. Which is fine. It is what it is. Also, your little bird feet. This is a Raijin, by the way. First was a Legacy. Second was a Dragonfire / Xiaoyu. They look the same, the Xiaoyu and the Dragonfire. Or at least similar enough that I don't really know the difference. They can proxy each other, let's say that. And then this is a Raijin. It looks silly. This is an old version. I think they changed it because this is, I think, just based off of a like mecha anime, you know, the whole Harmony Gold type situation. I think this is one of those original unseen type mechs, I think. It feels it. It looks very much different than a lot of other mechs. That's also kind of the Blake stuff, though. Looks kind of organic. That's kind of the point. But I think this is stolen's the wrong word, but licensed design. Let's use that one. Okay. I'm not going to worry too much about the undercarriage. I'm not going to drive myself crazy. We're going to be at arm's length. We're going to pump ourselves up instead of break ourselves down. You know? Life's too short to neg ourselves. I'm sure we all did that enough in high school anyway. All right, number 3. This is an Excalibur. I just got along the apron. Next, just the guy. Sometimes necks looks powerful or have a trait to them. This just looks like a guy. He's just a man in a costume. Also, I think the print was probably weird. I feel like these joints shouldn't look like this, but that's fine. They seem like they're missing some weight to them. Because most of the stuff I have here I've 3D printed. All the minis on the table right now I've 3D printed. I do have some stuff that I haven't 3D. Oh, see what I mean? This is why you be careful about flicking your stuff. See? Got little dots on there. You think I'd learn, right? I could fix that. Just a little bit. Just a little bit of speckle. It'll probably go away when I just do the regular highlighting and layering, so I'm not super worried about it, and there's a couple dots. You know, let's say it's the stars, right? I bet you I could find a pattern in there that looks like a constellation. And then they'll be the level 2 of that constellation. There we go. See, already that sounded like a thing. I'm so good at branding things. You ever just like rename your friends' pets? I did that as a kid all the time. And some pets are easier to rename than others. Weird pets? Okay, let me rephrase this. The easiest pet to rename is cats. Because cats don't care about their name, and most people give cats silly names anyway. So, if you find a friend's cat, they probably gave it a silly name as like in high school this is. You'd probably give them a silly name when you were like 4 or 5 or 6 or something like that. So this cat has had just like a silly name, so now you're in high school and you just, renamed it to Chili or something like that. Chili the cat. I know we had a cat that was renamed to Jack, and then we renamed it to Cat. And that one was funny because eventually it stopped responding to anything but cat. Like, it's a cat, so it still heard you. It just shows, but like, when it heard cat, it would be like, yes. It would do its attentiveness quicker. I have one friend who won't give his cat pretzels. Real shame. Cats deserve pretzels. Alright, so I believe that's legs on this brother. Just for any glaring spots that I missed. Because once again, we're going to go over it in a thin layer. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and the king crab. King crab. Crab people. Really did just splash, you know. Feels so silly. Feels so silly splashing it. That's alright. We make mistakes. We're human. It happens. Well, dwarven. Nice and calm. Nice relaxing stream. This is what I needed before I go back in the foxhole and just lose this war slowly. And that's fine. Not going to win every war. You didn't want to be fun. But so many people. But they switched Kali, went to Warden, like, dang, man. Getting out popped. Also, Naval's hard. I mean, I'm enjoying it, but it's just hard. I joined a regiment that's really good at it. They're mostly European. So they're like, yeah, we're going to do something at 2 p.m. Eastern. It's like, I'm not a college student. I'm not European. Sorry. So I participate how I can. Usually it's scrooping. Well, scrooping is that game's term for just like base resource gathering. But because everything's made by players, it is an important function. But we do have submarine training, which is pretty cool soon. So if the war lasts that long, it's on a day that I can do it. So I can figure out how to damage control a submarine. Because Lord knows I don't want to go out and actually like be responsible for anything besides just make sure we come home. Can't put that pressure on me to drive that thing. That's expensive. Took so much people's worth. Accumulate a ton of manpower and everything. Like, oh, it's too much responsibility. Sorry, I probably can't see this well. I just need to have this angle on this to get these under bits here. Probably only worried about the second coat on like the big flat place of it, basically where it needs it, because like I think the coverage is pretty good. All right, so I'm just going to take a little bit more here. And look at that. Not actually white, but it's going really well. I'm really liking how this is turning out. I'm going to move that king crab to avoid the disaster that I just did with flicking. We've started with the legacy, all right? Okay. So the place that any of that like uneven finish really show up are the big like broad pieces, so I'm just going to hit those again. Just any other big spots I may have missed. Because otherwise I think this coverage is good. Yeah, you're good. Oh, man. Ah, oh, it's devastation, really. It flew from my hand and hit the floor. It broke into 3 pieces. It's just the legs, so I can glue those back on. And you don't see that, but I'm not going to get up there and touch that right now. It's not going to be unbroken. Just yeeted it. Sorry. Didn't mean to yeet you. That was a mistake. I'm sorry. Hopefully that doesn't bode ill omens for the upcoming game. It's just that second coat on all the big exposed surfaces. I really don't want to get it on my camera. Gotta be careful of flicking up. All right. So we're getting close to time, so I'm just going to rush through a little bit here. Go on the sides just to make sure to get that a little bit. little more taken care of. The inside legs, I think, are fine. I don't think there's any problem with the inside of the legs. Not even going to bother looking. Oh, my back. Oh! There's a lot of popping. Just grabbing a little bit of water for this. Giving it a good old stirry stir. Okay. Actually, I think this is pretty good. I'm gonna hit the top here where it seems I missed a little bit of the top of the actuator there. Okay, that one's fine. Try to do them in the order that I did them in, just so that I can like hit the stuff that's dry already. Because if I hit something that's still a little bit wet, it'll get the brush marks on it. Got a couple air pockets on this one. That's fine. I was happy this model printed. This one gave me so much trouble. I think I had to do it 3 or 4 times. Okay, I think you're good. Sometimes good is also I don't think anything that I'm doing can actually improve this. So like this one has a little bit of splotchiness in the leg, so like this one definitely does need the touch up here. We're just gonna eat it down, bring it down, almost like a wash sort of. I'm gonna save that middle part for last because I don't want to hit it with too much paint and clog it up. I want that detail to stay detailed. All right, give it a spin. Hit the feet. There we go, baby boy. Oh, I hit the thing. Okay. Yeah, I also got some white on it. This is hard. I should have gotten bibs. Also, I think some of the paint on my finger's doing this, so maybe I won't ever learn. All right, last one, big boy. And then we're going to call it for now. Oh, man, I didn't do the feet the first time. Oh, man, I'm so silly. I realized I didn't even get the feet. Oh, well. I think this coat should be fine enough. All right. Perfect. Just trying to make sure I don't track paint over the whole model. Spinning it, going around in a big old circle. Swing that thing in a circle. Okay. Yep, almost dropped it. Alright, I think I got the legs sufficiently covered. I'm just getting little shields there. Alright. Alright. Wait, I gotta get the little toesy. Get the little crab toe beans. Okay. So, I think that will be it for tonight. I got the contrasting colors for, like, worst case scenario, I don't get to work on them at all. They are still 70% of the way there. I just got to do things to make them look a little bit more sharp. So I'm just pointing my brush here. But yeah, so the tops are going to get hit with a little bit of a, probably just go back to this gray for the highlight. Maybe makes it a little bit darker, but just give that a little hit. And then for the legs, do a little bit of this mix here, both in gray and white scar. You know, just a little bit of white scar, and just hit the bottoms, and just probably grab like some foil or something like that to keep those layers separated, so I don't have any flick issues. And then I'll pick up Buddy Boy from the floor there. He had a bad time. I'm still working on getting the terrain cut down. Once the terrain's cut down, I can go back to the Bellows project. It's also becoming the season where I can start doing blacksmithing, so that's some motivation there too. I do want to say thank you for joining me, and I hope this inspired you to get out and do something. And have a good evening.